Our topic today, what we're talking about is making the right choice for your future. And with us here, we have a very distinguished lady who has been in the industry for a while and has had a lot of international experience. Her name is Olabisi, and Olabisi has had a lot of experience in the international education. She has a performance track record of quality peak performance, working in 2 human resource companies and 5 international organizations. And because of her ability to show a great leadership skills and capacity, she became the country manager of one of the top UK pre-university colleges. That's after her NYSC. And this is a big accomplishment because within 13 years of her standard career development, she has been able to have a lot of exposure. And currently, she is the recruitment manager of the African, that's the recruitment manager at Africa for the Fairleigh Dickinson University, Vancouver, Canada. And our core competencies include sales and client acquisition, strategic relationship building, market expansion, penetration, international recruitment, sales training and development in case you need someone that is experienced in that area. She's data-driven decision making, and a lot more. Olabisi is very passionate about people, especially improving people, and she executes this through training, one-on-one coaching, public speaking, and she mentors. I know she has done that for a few of our staff. And Olabisi also coaches corporate bodies and private individuals. So please welcome on board Olabisi from Vancouver.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
We can hear you.
Okay. How are you all doing today? It is so good to be here, and I want to say a very big thank you to my amazing host, the CEO of this beautiful MBE Education Consult. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's such an honor to be here. And to the audience, to everyone that is watching, wherever you're watching from, to the people live streaming now, and to the people that would watch after, I just want to say a very big welcome. My name is Olabisi Adebiyi. I am the recruitment specialist for the whole of Africa region for Fairleigh Dickinson University, Vancouver. We are a university that specializes in undergraduate and master's programs only. So I am here to talk to you guys today about making the right choice for your future. And I wanted to find out, maybe we can put it in the comment section, where are you tuning in from? Where are you listening from? Just let us know. It would be great so that we will be able to answer your questions based on your region or your country. And then, we would be able to give you all the information that you need. So I wanted to ask you, Madam Yabo, do you want me to just talk or do you want to ask me questions?
No, we are actually going to have our question and answer session. And welcome once again to the MB Edu-Consults platform. And like she has mentioned, today we will be exploring or letting you know how to make smart choices for your academic and career future. As you all know, this is the popular Iyabo Bello, the principal consultant of MB Edu Consult, and I have with me the general manager, Mrs. Zubao, Toyin Zubao, and our ever famous Olabisi Adebiyi. I'm sure you've been wondering whether Canada is the right destination, especially with what is happening around Canada, the news that is flying out there. But we are here to unpack everything, right from the education, the visa process, the quality of lifestyle, and the future career opportunities. Yes, with all that is happening around the Canada as a study destination, there's still a lot more to benefit, and that is why we have today. We are tweaking the process. The session this time around is not just about presentation. So we are going right into it. Olabisi, can you please let our audience, our viewers, can you please let them know what it really means to make the right choice? What's that term, right choice for your future in terms of education, what it means? Can you please explain to our audience?
That's a very, very good question. Now, one of the things that I like to say is every choice you make today shapes your tomorrow. Do you understand? And ever since when I was a kid, one of the things my mom would always tell me is that education is one of the most critical decisions for your future. And education across board, not just formal education, but even informal education. And when we are talking about making the right choice, what does it mean? It means making choices that align with your interests and your strengths. The older you get, the more you realize, or the more you need to discover the things that you are really good at. For example, when I was a kid, I could talk for Africa. I loved talking. The term they gave kids in my time growing up was that we were forward. But the more I grew up, the more I began to realize that I had something to say. And I'm always trying to convince people to do something. And so I went to school to study a course that aligns my passion and my desires with what I am good at. What am I good at? I can talk, I can make people laugh, I can make people smile, I can interact appropriately. So the course I decided to study in school was in alignment with learning more about this and how I can monetize my gift when I am done, my interest, my strengths, not just to help people, but to help myself financially as well. And making the right choice also includes you of making a plan for long-term career growth. You have to be able to make a choice that would allow you to see a path, is a growth, and allow you to plan a growth path for your career. Another reason why the right choice is very, very important is that it allows you to provide a supportive environment, and it allows you to also belong to a supportive environment. What do I mean by supportive environment? A lot of career pathways in life has got accreditations and they have associations. Engineering, for example, human resources, personal management. A lot of these people have got associations. They are a support environment for people that are coming behind and people that are presently in that career path, to give them mentorship, to give them opportunities for internship, for growth, for collaboration, for business. So when you make the right choice, you are able to both belong to and create a supportive environment. And that means that you're able to give back to society. Making the right choice also gives you global opportunities and a global perspective and a global advantage. So you are able to have, especially when you come to school in a destination like Canada, you are in a class that is not full of people in your country. You are in a class filled with diverse kinds of people from different nationalities in the world, different colors, different mindsets. You begin to have a global idea of thinking. And then your teachers, when they open you to the global system of learning, it increases your scope and it gives you an edge for global opportunities. And making the right choice also encourages you for personal development, because you would always want to be better at what you do. And so making the right choice would allow you to thrive better, to increase your capacity, increase your knowledge base, increase your scope of experience. And that all of this tie together for personal growth and personal development. And organizations are always looking for and wanting to, employ and identify with individuals that take personal development very, very seriously. So that is why making the right choice is the best thing for you. Thank you.
Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you so much for that enlightenment and exposure. Now, in relating these, what can you say? How can students align their educational path with their interests and strengths? You know, with a whole lot, especially the academic background we have in Nigeria and all of that, what do you think, or what counsel do you have for students in Nigeria and beyond, students generally, to how do you think they can align their educational path with their interests and strengths?
Okay. A few things you need to consider. Number one, you need to write. I mean, I always like to identify what I like to do. So you can do a few personal appraisal exercises. You take a piece of paper and a pen, you sit down. Now, this is one of the rules that I live my life by. And the quote is this: truth is the only foundation to build anything that will last forever on. Truth is the only foundation to build anything that would last forever on. So you have to be able to ask yourselves the truth. What do I like to do? Like I mentioned earlier when I was talking about myself, I like to talk. Do you understand me? I like to talk. I mean, right before coming here, I was in another meeting and I was talking for an hour. I don't feel tired. In fact, right now I'm feeling inspired because I am giving knowledge and it is giving me joy. So identify what you are good at. What can you do for free, for example? What can you do to help humanity? Because you need to realize that whatever career goals, whatever career you're doing, whatever thing that you're going to do in your life is about people. Systems are about people. The government is about people. I mean, someone is feeding you something right now. I'm feeding you knowledge. The clothes on your back is supplied by a fashion person. That person's idea for business is around people. So every career is about people. So identify how you want to help humanity. Then find career paths that align with what you like to do. Because the truth is, gone are the days where we do the things that we think will sell or we think will get us a job. Every desire in life now has a career path. There are people that sing and they make a lot of money. Actors, engineers, diverse kinds of doctors. We have the traditional ones, we have the non-traditional ones, we have the educated ones, we have chiropractors. We have so many different career paths that were not available 20 years ago. Yeah. So right now you can create your own if it doesn't exist. That is what the world is trying to tell you. So what do you really like to do? What can you do for free for humanity? Align that with academic interest. So do a bit of research and recognize quality education that will give you the desired response or put you on the pathway to getting the desired response. You also have to consider, when you're thinking about making or what to think about how to align these things, you also think about a career path that is diverse. For example, in one of the programs at my university, which is the hospitality management course for masters, students are able to cross-sell. I have seen students that did the Master of Hospitality working in banks. Why? Because hospitality is about people. And so you will position yourself to be able to take advantage of opportunities that deal with your interests. You also have to think about how you can make your decisions affordable and what will give you return on investment. You don't want to get on a career path where you keep learning and 12 years down the line, you just discover that you have not scratched the edge of the surface. So you have to think about things that will give you, that are affordable. I believe that every desire, every person's passion has got an affordable pathway to get in there. Do you understand? And that is why sometimes you need education consultants like MB Edu-Consults that would help you. They will talk to you And then they would help you to align your dreams and your goals with the available courses that you can do that are affordable and will give you return on investment. Another thing that you need to think about when you're trying to marry your desire and academics is opportunities after graduation. You do not want to do a course that it is not, you are only streamlined to maybe just one part of the economy. Oh no, you have to be able to make career choices that affect not just one part, but are diverse, that you can actually cross sell, gives you opportunities. That is what I think, it should be the right choice of action. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, especially with the way the internet has made the world a global village, you know. So there's no limitation to what can be achieved
None.
by aligning the strengths and the interests. There's really, the sky is just the limits or the beginning for people to expand. Thank you so much, Olabisi. Now, another question which I keep wondering is why a lot of people find it difficult to consider global opportunities. So let us know, why is it important to consider a global opportunity when it comes to choosing a university? What's your opinion? What do you think?
Well, the truth is, global opportunities give you global advantage.
Global opportunities give you global advantage.
Global opportunities open global doors for you. You become a global citizen. You are not a local champion. People that say, oh, they want to stay in their country and they don't want to go anywhere, you're a local champion. The world is round, it's not flat faced. You have to find out what else your desires can birth for you in other countries. What learning can you grasp by being in a learning environment or an educative environment from other countries? You also have to think about top education destinations. Where are the places that people are expanding their careers? Where are they going to? Do you understand? Where are they going to? It's like saying when we were kids, and this is really off. When we were kids, in the 80s, there was this particular restaurant called Chicken George in Lagos, Nigeria. And my father would try to take us there maybe twice a month as his work could allow. And anyone that is anyone goes to Chicken George. We don't go there really because of the food. We go there because we are going to see someone that we know. We are going to have fun. You are going to learn something different. So it is not just about the food, but everything else is a complete package. And that's the same thing with education. It is not just about your academics when you go to another country. It is about the exposure. It is about the people. It is about the culture. It is about the learning. Your mind would be, your mind would get into spheres and places, and you will be on in conversations that may never have been to if you stayed in your home country. Am I saying staying in your home country is bad? No, but you will not have global advantage in your home country, and that is the truth. We also think about things like world-class institutions like Fairleigh Dickinson University, for example, where you will get a US degree while you are studying in Canada. You have to also consider that, it's always great for you to go to places and learn laws that are diverse from your own. You learn things about the immigration policies of another country, for example. What are the opportunities that are available to students that come from other countries there? What do they stand to gain? There was a survey that was put out about 2 or 3 years ago about Africans and how they thrive. And in the education, in the medical sector, both in the UK and the US, they discovered that 65% of the people that are working in the healthcare in the UK and the US are from Africa. Out of that 65%, 70% are from Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya. So what does this tell you? If these people had stayed in their home country, they will not have the global advantage that they have. And a lot of them are heads of surgery, heads of business, Fortune 500 company leaders. We see them in politics. And it's not that, you know, it was like a lot of them just took opportunities in their hands. They found an opportunity to travel, and they did. Also think about the multicultural, inclusive, and safe environment that you're going to be studying in. You know, I don't know the countries that people are listening from, but honestly speaking, think about the fact that you'll be in a place where you have amenities that are open to your disposal and they are for free. So those are the reasons why I believe that people should study outside their home country. At least study for a little bit. Go out there, see another country. What is the culture like? How is this similar to where I'm coming from? How is this different? How can I maximize and marry my culture with this culture and create a culture that works for my generation? Because remember, when I was talking about your career, I said it is all about people. So moving abroad or moving to another country is all about people. Coming to Canada and FDU, for example, is about you wanting to be in another environment with diverse kinds of people to experience something different that will be of benefit to you. So that's my answer.
Oh, thank you so much. It's all about people finding solution to people's problem, and that's really how to hand. Good. Now we're going to another sector, which is why choose Canada? Another segment of the interview. Why choose Canada, especially with all the brouhaha, the gists, the immigration change policies changing at this time, the visa approval or study permit approval, refusal rate, and all of that. Why choose Canada? What makes Canada one of the top destinations for international education at this time? Can you please let us know?
Honestly speaking, I think that if it was so easy, then people would not value. The reason why Canada is a great destination is because they offer world-class learning and opportunities. People have become amazing in their career paths because they studied in Canada. Do you understand? And a Canadian education system is about creating a learning that is open to all kinds of people. Are there challenges? Yes. There are challenges in the home countries that people are listening from. In their education system, in their countries, there are challenges there. Currently, I was reading about the issues that Nigeria had with their JAM and how some parents and schools had to take up, petitions and go to the court. And there was an unfortunate incident of a student who got suicidal. And someone that wants to come from another country to study in Nigeria may look at that and be like, I'm no longer coming. That coming to Nigeria to study is hard. What is all of this news in the paper? It does not mean that the education system is not good. It just means that it's humans, and humans, we would always have challenges. So Canada's policies are not to scare people away, but to help people become more determined and give them more genuine reasons why they need to come and study in Canada. We cannot say that because it is a little bit difficult today, you will now give up on your dream. That means that you were not ready to dream in the first place. You have to be able to fight against the waves of whatever it is that is happening in Canada and come in. Because the truth is, opportunities are boundless. Reasons why the IRCC is strengthening their borders is for safety, to keep you safer when you come into the country. Imagine if nothing was being done and everyone was being allowed in. Do you know the kind of, evil terrorism, God knows what that would have been happening in the country today because there are no laws protecting the people inside. So every policy that is being made or done is to protect the people inside. And so I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, it's impossible. It's just challenging. You face challenges every day. And there are so many opportunities that are bound to you. You've got the postgraduate work permit. If you come to Fairleigh Dickinson University, you have a 3-year postgraduate work permit, whether you're an undergraduate or a master's student. Master students can bring in their spouses and their immediate children when they come to study. Those are the opportunities that are not available in other countries. In fact, other countries right now are shutting down and refusing international students, and Canada is embracing them. And sometimes mainstream media will put a caption that looks like it is not good, but then when you read the content, there is nothing connecting the topic of the discussion to the body of the discussion, because mainstream media is all about making money. So they will never put out the good news. You will never hear a good news about Canada Canada will have to put out that APB out themselves. But you also have to make your own research. Immigration policies are not against you, they are for you. If you think of it that way, it's going to be easier for you to focus on what it is that you need to do and how to get the help you need to come into Canada. And that is why I always advise students, do not try to do this alone, because fine print online does not really interpret what is really going on behind the scenes. You need, you know, Edu-Consults to be able to help you from application stage. Why? Because they know there's some things you don't know. There are a lot of policies that are brought out that are not out on mainstream media for 6 months, but agencies are aware of them. The changes, how you would position yourself, what you need to do, the documentation you need to put together, what has changed in those documentations. Do you understand me? So what has changed in those documentations? Those are the things that, education consultants will help you with. But coming to Canada is very safe. People that come to Canada, you have not heard anyone say that they want to leave. Why? Because opportunities are boundless. There are so many pilot programs that are aimed at immigrants to help you to set up your own business, buy over a business, join a startup. There are just so many opportunities available over there. And if you don't have what you need, you can create your own. Nothing and no one is stopping anybody from doing anything that they want to do. Canada is the right place for you because you have resources, you have opportunities, you have the land at your disposal. Do you understand? And it's big enough to accommodate your dreams, big enough to let you thrive, big enough to watch you succeed. And like other countries, we won't get to a point where we feel threatened by your success and we want to shut you down. Canada doesn't do that. We embrace diversity. We love diversity. And we welcome you into Canada.
Thank you. Canada is big enough to take your dreams. So you've been talking about the immigration. So let's dive into that area. How do Canada's immigration and post-study work policies support international students? Because there's a lot of, like you mentioned, a lot of interpretation out there. How just a summary of, because I know you cannot touch the whole of the policies. One, you're not an immigration consultant and you're not a Canadian lawyer, but in your own experience and as a representative of one of the top universities there, how do Canada's immigration and post-study work policies, how does it support international students?
Okay, this is a very, very good question because people need to know what they stand to benefit when they study in Canada. If you study an undergraduate degree, for example, you are eligible to 1 to 3 years postgraduate work permit. Do you understand? After graduation. If you study a full master's program is 2 years in Canada, you are eligible for a 3-year postgraduate work permit. Now, the benefits are this. Within the 3 years, Canada is expecting that you would work, pay tax, and get enough points for your permanent residency. And 3 years is a long time. Most Nigerians, Africans, Ghanaians, Kenyans, Mauritians, South Africans get their points on that 1 year. Because you see, we are one of the most hardworking, one of the most resilient, one of the most committed set of people I have ever seen in my life. Anywhere you put an African, we thrive because we have an end goal. So this is it. What the opportunities are, you get a 3-year postgraduate work permit when you finish. So focus. You have 3 years to be able to become a permanent resident. You've got 3 years. That is 36 months. And you have a number of points that you need to get. So you already, they've given you the map. You will get this, but this is where you start from. So the opportunities are that from when you graduate, even before you graduate, because my school, for example, has this wide network of alumni students. And so before graduation, we have career fairs. And the companies where we have alumni students come to attend these fairs to interview our students and see how many of them they can adopt upon graduation. We also have internship opportunities available for masters and undergraduate students. And I always tell African students, grab it, especially during summer. Summer in Canada is minimum of 10 weeks. So intern for 5 weeks and then have a holiday for 5 weeks. Why? Because these things count in making you eligible for employment upon graduation. Don't be like students from other countries that spend their summer taking pictures, traveling up and down, faffing around, and just having a good time. You are there on a mission. The opportunities that you have is you have internship opportunities. You've got during summer, you can work full time in Canada. During school term, you're allowed to work between 20 to 24 hours per week. But during the holiday seasons, you can work full time. During the holiday season, maximize it. Split your holidays into two. Intern for half of the time. Increase your employability rate and your ratio by yourself. Put yourself at the edge and let yourself be open to the global opportunities that are available. Because it's not that there are not opportunities, it's that some people are not eligible to grasp and be onto those platforms. And how can you be onto the platforms? Maximize the time you have. You are coming into Canada to study. Focus on why you are in Canada to study. Study, that's what it means. And while you're not studying, make sure that you're getting out of school experience that is connected to your career plan. Don't spend all your summer working in a fast food because it's going to give you quick money. That is not going to help you graduation. You need to work in a place that is in alignment with what you're studying in school and where you are going to. Because when you put together your resume, which we actually help students to do, we help them to put together a good cover letter and a good resume. All of these internships that you're doing while you're studying will be included in that resume, and it will show the organization that you were not joking. You didn't just come to study, but you came to position yourself for global opportunities. And there would always be gist flying around. There are no job opportunities for international students. International students find it very hard to get a job. I don't think that is true, because if it is, then no international student would have gotten a job. So the narrative is maybe for someone who hasn't had it yet, someone who wasn't prepared for the global opportunity, because you see, there is always an opportunity that comes if you're not ready to go to the person that is. And that is the truth. So Canada has a lot to offer you, but you need to know the ones that are eligible to you and how you can maximize them. Imagine becoming a permanent resident and then getting a job in another country that allows you to move because you're a Canadian. That is a great thing to do and a great opportunity to have. So stop thinking. A lot of international students sometimes think local because of where they are coming from, and it's fine. But you see, when you're coming into a global economy like Canada, you have to think globally. How can you position yourself globally? What are the opportunities that are available to you as an international student that you can grasp? These things matter. At FDU, for example, we are open to helping students find internship. We don't even send you out to go and look for. Our alumni network is wide enough. We just need to contact them and be like, can you adopt our students? We have never gotten a no. And so I just believe that there are opportunities that you have to be prepared for. And one of the ways to prepare for them is while you're in school. Prepare for them while you're in school. Don't joke around. Look, you will joke around when you get your permanent residency. So wait first. Do you understand? Focus. When you get your permanent residency, you want to go to Italy for holiday, you will go. But wait and get your goal sorted. There is a case, I think, Iyabo, you and I know this case of this lady that finished her master's program and decided to take a holiday. By the time she returned, the postgraduate work permit window had closed. So she couldn't get the three-year postgraduate work permit that was available and eligible to her. But because she went to play and she didn't focus, she lost that opportunity. She had to reapply for another master's program, another 2 years master's program. So now she has to do another 2 years master's to be able to stay in Canada. And then after that, she will not be eligible for another 3 years postgraduate work permit. What am I saying? Guys, listen, the policies are there to help you. They are not there to cage you. You have to learn the ones that are for you and how you can maximize them. Thank you.
Thank you. Think globally and grasp the opportunities that are open to international students. Thank you so much for that information, Olabisi. Now, what should students consider when choosing a country for higher education? What can you tell our viewers?
Okay. One of the things that you should consider is, what is the teaching method? What is the teaching style? A lot of people go straight to the money. You know, a lot of people go straight to finances. I want a cheap school. Sometimes it's not about the cheap school, but it's about the curriculum of what it is that you're going to learn. African students need to learn how to do research before they make decisions. For example, at Fairleigh Dickinson University, the curriculum of what you're going to study in your master's program is waiting for you online for the 2 years. Everything you're going to study, the electives and the core courses are waiting for you online. And the school requires that you go there and you read them. Know exactly what it is the name of that course, what is inside that course that you're coming to study. That is number one. Number two, what have been the graduate opportunities for international students that have finished from that school? Where have they worked? How many international students from that school have gotten jobs? That is another thing you need to think about, because it is not enough for you to go to a school. Are those students employable when they are done? Number three thing that you need to think about is the safety of the environment. Where is this school located? Is it in a town? Is it in a city? How safe is this place? And when I mean safety, I don't mean that they are bad people. I mean safe in terms of what are the academic amenities that are free to international students that will study in that place? Do they have a public library? How well equipped is their public library? What is the distance from the school to the city center? How many buses do I need to take? Do they have accommodation on campus? What is the distance from accommodation to campus? How affordable is accommodation? Then you start thinking finances, but think, what is it going to cost me to live in that city for a year or a month? What are the job opportunities that are available to international students? Are there job opportunities on campus that international students can take advantage of? A lot of these questions are not online, but your education consultants will know, because they will ask the school on your behalf and the school will tell them for you. Another thing you now need to think about is, what is the tuition fee? Now, it depends on the school. Some schools charge as high as 56,000 Canadian dollars per year for their master's program. We charge in US dollars, but our tuition fee is for the entire 2-year program, which makes us extremely more competitive to other universities in Canada. We are also a very safe environment. We are very close to the library. We are very close to transportation. And because we're in the heart of Vancouver, there is always something going on. So if you need, if you're looking for where to have like an internship, it is right there in the city. You are not going to take 24 buses or travel 1.5 hours, to be able to go to where you're going to intern. Also, if you do not want campus accommodation, you have to think. We have this saying in Africa, what I ordered versus what I got. we would always advise students, if you do not want to use accommodation that we have liaised with on behalf of the campus, wait until you come to school. We will give you a YMCA accommodation pending so that you can go by yourself and view these apartments before you take them. You know how they embellish things online. So don't fall for that trick and then get to a place and discover that the amenities that they say that is in there is actually not there, it's not working. Also, another thing you need to think about is, what is the class size? So we've talked about the environment and everything. Let's talk about the campus. What is the class size? How many people in a class? Is it 200 or is it 25? You know that if the class sizes are smaller, that means that the teachers will have more opportunities to interact with you one-on-one. But if you go to a school where they get 3,000 Canadian international students and maybe 1,005 is for your course, you need to realize that the teachers will not have your time because the class sizes are too big and they can only do so much. That is another thing you need to consider. What is the class sizes? What is the time, class time? Are you going to be in class for the whole day? Or is it flexible enough for you to be able to have your 24 hours per week work? Those are the things you need to consider as well. Then you now consider the tuition. How much is this going to cost me? You know, because sometimes we tell, Mrs. Yaba will give you a lot of stories. The first thing they come with, I want a cheap school. I want a school that is under 10,000 Canadian dollars or under 15,000 Canadian dollars. And then they present the school to the client and I don't want this. I don't want that. The schools you want might be a little bit pricier than your budget, but listen, you are thinking long term. And I understand that everyone has a budget, but honestly speaking, that is why you have Edu-Consults. I can only speak for my school. We are not as expensive as other our competitors, but I know that we give quality education. We only have about 1,000 students in the entire school. That means that our class sizes are really small. And we are really, really into all our students. And the 1,000 includes domestic and international students. So that is some of the things I need to think about coming to Canada. Do you understand? Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now you've really delved into the Canadian education. So let's assume, we have students that don't know the country. They have difficulty in choosing a country, a study destination. What do you think? What should students consider when they want to choose a study destination? What do you think they should look at? We have different countries.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes. So I think one of the first guide is to get yourself a good education consultant. Mm-hmm. That will take 80% of your work, because your education consultant is knowledgeable of all the destinations that they market. And so based on the conversation that they would have with you, they would know the best destination where you can go, because you don't know. And I can't tell you where to go. I will tell you to come to Canada, honestly, because I will tell you point blank, out of all the destinations out there now, Canada, with what it looks like is tough, is still your best bet, because you will get your 3 years postgraduate work permit and your permanent residency is waiting for you down the road. Other countries, they've increased it to 10 years and you'll be paying up to 40. I mean, it's just crazy. The things other countries demand from immigrants, it doesn't make any sense. Canada doesn't have a lot of issues. Do you understand me? It's just getting in that looks like it's a bit difficult, but then nothing has stopped an African when it comes to difficulty. One of my students was telling me, she's in school right now. She says we crush difficulty and eat it like suya. I said, correct. I love that. I love it. She said, adversity for us is breakfast in Africa, with the things that we've gone through over the years. And so number one is getting yourself a good education consultant. Number two is talking with that consultant and listening to sound counsel. I know that all of you are ChatGPTarians right now. Everything is ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is so nice. Yes, I can help you. These are the things you need to do. Sometimes those things, I hope you know that ChatGPT got that information from the internet. And it was someone that put it on the internet for ChatGPT to be able to get it and give it to you. So speaking with a consultant, telling them about your fears, your desires, your hopes, your dreams would allow them to help you make a right decision. Another thing I needed to consider is, I mean, just like I talked about coming studying in Canada, what are the opportunities for immigrants? How easy is it to become a permanent resident of that destination? That is like the core. Because why would you go spend all that money and then not be able to live and work there safely without looking over your shoulders that immigration officers are going to knock on your door and tell you that you have to leave? That is not fair. So Canada, for example, will give you the opportunity to do and live and work after graduation. I don't know about other destinations. I don't care about other destinations. I really just care about the fact
Yeah,
that
yeah, just a proud Canadian.
I'm telling you, because let me tell you something. Look, everybody comes. Let me give you an example. I started this journey. I've been an education consultant now for like 18, 20 years. And one of the very first clients I had, very young dude, 16-year-old sports boy, he finally got his ducks in the row because I was not going to allow him to walk all over me. And then he went to school in the UK, but when he was done, that was when all the policies came. And he called me and said, "What do I do?" I said, "Do your master's in Canada." Straight up. I said, just move to Canada. So he moved to Canada. Look, he has thriving businesses in Alberta right now, not businesses. And his wife sent me a video of when they were opening their latest office, and he mentioned my name. He said sometimes you don't know that you need help until you actually ask for help. That if he had not talked to me when he was having issues from finishing undergraduate and I gave him that advice to move to Canada, he'll probably be back in his home country and he will not be happy. What am I saying? You need sound counsel. You can't do this all by yourself. I know the internet seems like a good place of resource, but a lot of the information online are recycled and they are repackaged to make it sound like it is latest information. So seek counsel. What are the opportunities that await for you after graduation? Those are the major things that you need to move. Counsel, opportunities. Anything else is embedded in between those two. Thank you.
Counsels, opportunities, anything else is embedded between those two. And
Yes.
that's really true. And in getting that, you need to get from someone that knows. And truly, um, because of the trainings and exposures education consultants get from the schools, they get this first-hand information. So you get yourself a very good, sound, knowledgeable education consultant. Thank you so much, Olabisi. Now, we've really run out of time, but we'll try. Another thing is what makes Canadian degrees globally recognized and valuable? Because you're a proud Canadian. You are just talking about Canada, Canada. So even going to other areas itself, we are even like, oh, let's just focus on this Canada for this woman.
Well, to answer your question, it is because a lot of people base their academics on ranking that they got 50 years ago. They base their schools on ranking. Oh, we were ranked something, 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 something. Canada does not think of ranking. Canada thinks of postgraduate lifestyle. Our students, where have they worked? I mean, one of our alumni is the current United Nations Secretary. So that is a great selling point for us. And she proudly says that she did her master's at FDU. We don't look at ranking, we look at postgraduate lifestyle. What have our students been doing when they've graduated? Have they won awards? Are they thriving? Are they using what they are learning in school? Are they doing something with it? Do you understand me? It is not just about academics. So a lot of the universities in Canada think like that. My university, that is our motto. We are a university of and for the world. That means that every person that comes in through our walls should be able to go anywhere in the world and thrive and become anything that they desire to be. That is our focus. So if you are looking at rankings, you probably see us at the bottom. We don't care about the rankings, honestly, because the rankings does not affect teaching. The rankings does not affect our funding. Maybe for other universities and other schools, yes. But for us, because we are a fully independent, not-for-profit organization, and we are recognized as an NGO by the United Nations themselves, we pride ourselves in bringing out quality students that do great things. So for us at FDU, our motto is, how do you thrive when you're done? What do you do? How do we support you when you're in school to position you to move in the direction where your heart wants to go? We love to hear success stories of our students that are doing great things, period. Anything else, yeah. So that's why that is why my school in Canada is your best bet.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes. See the smile on my face? Yeah.
You're so proud.
I am.
Proud woman.
I am. Because you see, if it wasn't good, I will not be here talking about it.
Oh, interesting.
And Mrs. Yabo, you know, because you know experience. So yes.
Yeah. Because we have students that are currently studying there, and we have students that have finished from there. So true, be told, we've had positive feedbacks from students that have actually attended FDU. So now there's a lot of question and a lot of stories out there about scholarships and funding. So what kind of scholarships or funding opportunities are available to international students at FDU?
So I'm not going to sugarcoat. Master students do not have scholarship opportunities because the program runs for just 2 years.
Okay.
But undergraduate degree students have 2 merit-based scholarship opportunities available to them. Now, there are other internal, scholarships that are not mentioned that both undergraduate and master students can take advantage of. But they usually happen when they are in school. Do you understand? So I would tell international students that open your eye, ask questions, keep asking questions, and make sure that your academics are good. Because all these scholarships are merit-based. They are not based on region or nationality. They're just based on academic performance. For the undergraduate programs, we have 2. We have 30% and 65%. So if the student gives us a B2 and above in their WAEC or NECO or WASE or O levels in whatever African country, B2 and above, plus 2 letters of recommendation from their high school, they're eligible for the 30%. And that 30% is an annual scholarship that they get for the 4 years if they maintain a CGP of a 3.5. Now for the 65%, we want B2 and above in all subjects or the top 5 subjects, 2 letters of recommendation, and they either give us an SAT score of 1280.
Wow, SAT in Canada? Canadian
No.
university?
Yeah, well, we are an American university with a Canadian campus. Hello.
Yeah, I wanted you to spill that out.
So yes, we are an American university, actually. We were founded in 1942. We are the largest private university in New Jersey. We have 4 campuses in the world, 2 in New Jersey, 1 in Vancouver, and 1 in the UK. When our students graduate, they get the same certificate as everyone else. They get Fairleigh Dickinson University. Everyone gets the same. There's no Vancouver, there is no UK, there's no US. It's just one because the curriculum is the same across board. Everybody learns the same thing. Everyone gets the same certification. So for the 65% undergraduate scholarship merit-based B2 and above, 2 letters of recommendation and an SAT score of 1280, or they give us B2 and above in their WAEC, WASE, NECO, O levels, 2 letters of recommendation, and 3 A's in their A level. So they either give us an SAT score with their academics, or they give us 3 A's in their A levels, and they're eligible for the 65%. And this runs every year for the 4 years of the undergraduate degree. So yes, that's it.
Okay, we have a lot of questions here, but I don't think we can cover it because we're already using up to like an hour. So let me just pick some. What steps should students take when planning to study in Canada? Just briefly.
Okay, so what steps should students take? Number one, identify what you want to study. What are the qualifications that you need? What are the qualifications you need to get onto the program? Do you need to write an IELTS? Do you need to write a GMAT? Do you need to write a GRE? Whatever it is, get yourself prepared for that. Number two, make an application. I would say that at the point where you're putting together your documentation, speak to MBE Edu-Consults. Let them help you with your application process, so that when the admissions of the school is asking for this and that, and they feel that you are eligible for an exemption, they can make a case for you immediately. For example, yes, some Nigerian countries, Nigeria is exempted from sending an English test score to my school, for example. But sometimes the admissions officer would require an IELTS test score. And so the agent will respond on your behalf saying that this student cannot give a test score because of 1, 2, 3. If they had sent it to you directly as a student, you would have panicked, paused, decided not to go to that school, or even think about spending an extra 280,000 naira registering for your IELTS exam. That is why you need counsel. So seek counsel. Honestly, I would say, what do you need? Seek counsel and let the consultant help you to make your application up until your visa, and to just help you out. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So what kind of support should students expect from a university's recruitment team?
Well, one of the good things that we do is that we do job searches, we do internship opportunities, we have seminars, we have career fairs, we help students to put job searches. So most of the time when companies in our alumni are looking for graduates and they send us the brief, we put it up on the student wall. Student gets that information, comes into student services. Career services sits down with the student, helps them to do their cover letter and their resume to position themselves to get that offer. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
we help you from start to finish. We don't baby you, but we hold your hand.
We don't baby you, but we hold your hand.
Yes.
So how do services like a pre-departure briefings, how does it help new international students?
You need to know what.
Some of the students feel it's something that is not necessarily. Let's just hear from you.
It is so necessary because you see, pre-departure is not just about what to pack in your bag. You would, for example, we have a pre-departure webinar where the heads of the department will come and tell you what they expect you to get and how they expect you to study and how they expect you to be in school. You understand what the kind of students, now that you've gotten your offer, you've paid, you've gotten your student permit, what kind of students are you? Or the profile of the students that they need to have, what they need to see you become. They lay it out like, listen, this is where you're coming from. This is where you're going to get to by the time you're done. Student services will talk about accommodation, bus passes, how much to get a bus pass. Now that you're a student, what discount is on the bus pass, where to eat, how much is living expenses in a month, how can you manage your money. Those kind of things are very, very important. And they are the ones that will tell you, don't book accommodation that is not from us by yourself. If you want to stay on your own, come to school first and then find a place to stay. Those are the things. And then when you're coming, what to bring with you to get to the border. Because you see, it is one thing to get your study permit. It is another thing to cross the border into Canada.
Yeah.
So what are the things you need to put together to cross over the border? What are the documentation? And the fact that you have to bring the original copies of all of your documents with you when you're coming. Those are the things you learn up, because some students will come, they just come empty-handed. They show up and then the enrollment officer will be like, where are the documentations you used to apply for your admission? Oh, nobody told me to bring it. Did you attend the pre-departure briefing? Oh, I didn't think it was necessary. Now you know why it is necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So the final reflections, what advice would you give students still unsure about their study destination? Because we have a lot out there. What advice would you give them?
I would say today can be the best day of the rest days of your life. Today can be the first day of the best days of the rest of your life. That means that today you can move from the canopy of confusion and get on the pathway of wisdom. You don't know what you want to do, you don't know where you want to study, you are confused. You need to talk to someone that knows the way. Because if you knew what to do, you will not be roving around in circles. So you need someone that will not baby you, but will hold you by your hand and tell you that, listen, based on what you have said, based on the information you have given, this is what we think is best for you, and this is where we think you should go. And sometimes you have to do it afraid, because I know some of you are very afraid that, what if I fail? What if this thing cracks in my hand? What if it doesn't work? How will you know if you don't try? How will you know if you don't try? Abraham Lincoln ran for presidency 9 times and failed. He got in on the 10th trial. Somebody asked him why he kept coming back. He said, because he found 9 ways not to get in. So sometimes you just have to do it afraid. You have to go for what you believe in.
Wow.
Do you understand? You have, I mean, because you will, everyone that has been successful did not have a premonition that this is where this thing is going to get to. They just kept going.
Yeah.
And then they kept doing it afraid. And they are still doing it afraid. If they can do it, why not you? So do it afraid and you will succeed. Or at least you will learn one way not to do it again.
Yeah, not to do it again. That's true. That's true. So we have a few questions here. Some people say there are no job opportunities for international students. How true is that?
Well, I think I have addressed that when I was talking about Canada. There are job opportunities. It's just that a lot of students are not qualified to get them, because when they got into school, they were not positioning themselves for when the opportunities come. Opportunities will come. So that is why I was saying things like you have to be very focused on why you are in Canada. Canada, when you're in Canada to study or during your whatever program, is not a time for you to travel and be taking pictures. I mean, focus. Be ready to take on, be ready to learn, be ready to intern, be ready to serve. Those kind of things matter when you're putting your CV and your resume together, because unlike Africa, countries like Canada want to see community service inclusive in your resume. How are you giving back to the community? How are you taking care of the community? Because countries like Canada are now part of the green environment. So they are really looking for how to help and make the place a safer, more hygienic place. And the opportunities for volunteerism on campus, for example. I know that our master students are some of them are part of the Rotaract Club. So they do humanitarian services, and these things help and they count. Yeah.
Okay, I think you've addressed this, and that is there a way your school help international students, scholarships, incentives? Then the final question is, what's the employability rate for FDU graduates?
I mean, we have a huge employability rate. Whenever we give training to our agents, we always show the alumni logos of where our students have finally ended up. We have not had a student not get a job yet. Do you understand? So
Mm,
what I know is that there are opportunities, and we because we help our students from the beginning, we help them to position themselves well to to apply for the best ones that are well suited for them. So there are opportunities for international students at our school, and we have helped a lot of our students take advantage of it. I cannot give you names, I cannot give you places, I cannot even give you numbers, but I can tell you that it's true. Because if it's not, I won't. Mrs. Yabo will not invite me onto this platform,
mm.
and that's the truth.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our able Olabisi Adebiyi. You've never let us down. At
Thank
the end
you.
of the day, the right choice is the one that fits or suits your dream, your goals, your interest, your desires. Your goals, your interests, your desires. Canada offers you a balanced, welcoming, educational class, and the experiences that you'll be exposed to is worth it. And we've heard from the proud Canadian, very proud. I don't even understand why she's so proud. You've heard from her, and she has really told us a lot about FDU and about Canada as a study destination. If you need more information, you need support, you need assistance, you need help, you can always reach out to us on our different platforms, or you go to our website www.nbeduconsult.com, or reach out to us on our Instagram page at NBEduConsult, Facebook at NBEduConsult, and our YouTube channel, NBEduConsult. We are always there to respond to you. And you can also visit our offices in Lagos and Abuja if you need any information. All our details are out there on our website. And at this point, we are going to pull the curtain. At this point, we've really taken your time. Thank you so much for following us. Thank you so much for viewing, for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Olabisi, and thank you for the entire team. At this point, we'll pull the curtain and we'll say, do have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. Thank God it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and you see or get to hear from us. We'll be bringing in other study destination. Just follow our channels, so that subscribe to our different channels, so that when we bring out the adverts, you would, or when we go on live, you will be alerted. And do endeavor to always be on our platforms to get information, real-time information, first-hand experiences from people that are there, people that have been there, and people that have gone through the phase. So right now, thank you and have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.